I said, I'm living my best life. I said, I'm living my best life. Made a couple M's with my best friends. Turned all my L's into lessons. You see the whip pulling up, it's like
What up, though? What up, though, world? This is your man, Jay Liggs, and this is the Culture Cure Show. We are back at it again. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Got my favorite people in the world in the room with me today. What up, Tiff?
Not much. What's up with you?
Chilling. You know, kind of happy that it's 40 degrees outside.
Yeah, and it's Valentine's Day.
Oh,
That's
look at
great.
that.
Wow. Are you sad? You're not happy?
So how was your day so far today, Tiff?
My day was decent.
Just decent?
It was decent.
Why just decent?
Nothing major. No real ups, no real downs.
Okay, sound
Real
good.
middle of the road.
Sound good. E, what's good with you?
I'm good.
Why just
Glad
good?
to be here.
Oh, you sure?
I am. You know, it's just been a long, busy day.
You don't sound too excited to be here with us today.
Yeah, I just came from the dentist, so
You
some
look like drooling and
the
stuff.
top right part of my mouth is numb, but you know.
That's what she said.
I'm still.
Oh, no.
I was expecting the jokes, and I appreciate them. So
Oh, you do?
A 10 for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, today was
tried
still
what I
good.
could.
It was productive. I put it that way.
Okay.
I like a good productive day.
All right, cool. Soraya, what's good with you?
First of all, why am I always last? And secondly, I'm
You're
just
the
kidding.
only one who noticed that. Like,
I noticed
No.
it. I never said anything.
Oh, thanks.
What's a particular order? I guess you go in
Just
every
add
week.
fuel
It's the
to
same
the fire.
order.
Anyway, I'm pretty good.
People be real sensitive nowadays. You just can't win for losing.
no,
I'm
especially
pretty
not
good.
today.
Mm.
I'm saying because it's Valentine's Day.
No,
A lot of
I
people
know.
gonna be in trouble today.
Exactly.
No.
But I had a good day. Also productive. It was a beautiful day in comparison to the days we've been having, so I got no complaints.
That's true.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Is that right?
I see you got that red lip on.
I see. That's what I told her.
Yeah.
I'm showing out today.
Y'all,
Right.
y'all over here double twins. Let me show everybody. Look
Oh,
at them. They're sisters.
you know, I don't even like the color red,
Me
You wearing
either.
it today?
but something in me when I woke up this morning was like, Aaron, you know, just go
Gotta
with
be
the flow.
festive.
It's Valentine's Day.
I own 2 red shirts, so I figured
Yeah,
the same thing.
Oh, you know what? I have a red sweater in this. So yeah.
How much red you got, too?
That's why I have on pink.
Oh,
No. Oh, okay.
no red for
That's
you.
why we went to pink
Man.
today.
Okay,
so.
all right. So everybody do their homework?
I did.
Yeah.
No, y'all didn't.
I
I'm
swear I did.
I'm the
Actually,
kid that shows up that's like, didn't really do the work, but always gets the A.
we know.
Let's,
It's like you got details on yours,
Let's-
though. I
let's
just
find
wrote
out.
some numbers, and a lot of mine are the same. So.
Let's
Yeah,
find
I
out.
already have
All right,
notes
so since-
and numbers,
so-
which means I
so
like.
since we had an issue with order, Soraya, what did you put on yours? How did you rate your categories?
Okay.
Well, first, what we talk about?
Yeah, why don't
Oh,
you
yeah.
bring the people up to
I
date
guess
on
I
that?
should reintroduce it. Okay, so last week on the show, it was something I heard on the Breakfast Club that I thought was a good idea to do and a good topic.
It's called the 7 Spears.
7 spears. Look at that. Did we have 7? I don't think we had 7.
We did.
No, we have 7.
1, 2, 3.
Well, I don't know.
I have. Oh,
It-
if you
it was
if you-
broken in like 6, but yeah.
but it's a slash on one of them.
So,
Right.
So the 7 spears, and it was something I thought that was pretty cool. So I took it away and I brought it here. And what it is that you have to rate yourself between on a scale of 1 to 10 in 6 or 7 different categories. Those categories are personal, relationship, health, spiritual, education,
And evolution.
education and evolution, and
Employment.
So, Soraya.
All right. I'll start with my highest. I actually rated employment the highest because I just
You are
started.
getting money.
No.
Oh, we getting
Because I
money.
just started a new job and actually like really falling in love with my career all over again. I know that sounds kind of cheesy.
He's making me change a number.
But
now.
so I rated that a 9. Of course, it can get better because there's other things that I want to do, and actually considering once I put a dent in my student loans, maybe going back for a second master's. So, feeling pretty good about employment. Next is a tie between education and relationships. So education, because like I said, I'm thinking about going back for my second master. So there's room to grow there, but very happy with what I have and what I've accomplished thus far. Relationships is also an 8. I have a pretty amazing group of friends, and my relationships with my family is pretty good. But one thing about me, and some people have complained about this, is I'm not very big on hush, Aaron. You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
I don't, but it's just
I'm
funny.
not very big on talking on the phone. I am a texter, or I will see you in person. So those friends and family who do not live close sometimes feel like I don't communicate with them enough. So I do want to get better with that. But I don't know. Like, I multitask a lot, so I'd rather text you. And then if we can meet, great. That's fantastic. Even better. And then the last 3, that's what I said. Mine is like all the same. As far as personal, spiritual, and health. Now, follow me on this. Those are all 6s, and this is why. So,
I don't feel too bad.
yeah. So, health, because I include like fitness in that as well. So, I would say, like, of course, I want to be more fit. I want to eat better. There are some things like I actually want to get braces, so I want to improve on that. So that's why that's still a 6. Spiritual, I go to church every Sunday, but I don't go to Bible class. I don't read the Bible often. So there's room to grow with that. And then personal, I think, like, even despite everything I said about my career and education, I'm still pretty hard on myself. So just kind of like being better with being in tune and feeling good about myself across the board. I mean, we all have those moments, but I think that's an area I can improve in also. So that's also a 6. And that's
Okay.
it.
Pretty good.
Tried to make that as short as I could.
So
Way
what was,
better than
what was the lowest one?
I had 3 that were all 6s. That was personal, spiritual, and health.
All right. So which one of those is you think is the first one you need to work on?
Well, I guess a good answer would be spiritual, but somewhere between
Good answer.
spiritual, right. I guess that's why I need to work on that. But somewhere between spiritual and personal, I think personal will help me with everything. So if I can get that in order, I could be more motivated to work on all of them. So probably that one, then spiritual. Health, I don't think my health is just in the trash, but there's things I want to improve on. So I would put that 3rd, and then relationships and employment.
Okay. So wait, which one was first?
Oh my goodness, personal.
All right. So
Open
personal.
your ears.
She gave me the whole list. I just asked for one.
You
All
know,
right, so personal. So now the whole purpose of this is to start doing work. So we need a plan on how you plan to correct and start to work on your personal.
That one thing first.
That's the first
Right.
thing you said you want to work on. So I'm gonna let you ponder.
yeah,
on
I
that,
had to think about that.
and then I'm going to go to Tiff.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
thought we were going
No.
the other
sure was looking at
way.
me
I was
like-
like, oh,
like
he's
you
going
was.
to go that way.
Like,
Hope
I'm
you're
not.
ready.
I'm not, girl.
Okay. So, shake my sheet of paper. So, I will start with social. I gave myself an 8 in social. I feel like my social life's pretty decent.
You mean relationships?
Yeah, relationship.
I'm like,
No, social.
No.
Oh, that was the issue.
oh, that was the one we left.
Yes, SPEAR stands for social personal health. I'm
so
sorry.
we didn't-
Are you cool? So we lost one. Go ahead, social.
Well, I'm.
Okay,
That's
go
cool.
ahead.
Yeah.
Don't matter. Go
Carry
ahead.
on.
Okay, so social was 8.
You went back
She
and did
did
the
it right.
research.
I did my Googles.
She just didn't tell the group. That's what's up.
Right.
But it was on
But
our
you know,
sheet.
your social.
It was on our look. Okay,
Social wasn't on the-
y'all gonna
social-
ease up off me.
social definitely wasn't on the sheet. 'Cause she just
I-
texted to
I
us.
swear it was on the sheet.
Go ahead. Social.
I counted over him. I was like, oh, they got
Just
these.
do
Whatever.
Do better next time.
Okay. So social, I gave myself an 8. I feel like I have a good group of friends. I hang out enough.
Streets.
Enough.
Cause like it used to be like
Yeah.
you couldn't keep me out of a hood bar.
Melvin said it was good.
Hey Melvin. Either way, I feel like I'm good there. Personal life, I give myself a 6 because I hang out and I also have like a whole lot of other stressors in life. Sometimes I'm here, I'm near, I'm everywhere, and I feel like I don't personally take care of myself. I always put myself on the back burner. So it's always, okay, you need what? You need this, you need that. Sure, I'll take care of all that. And then by the time I get home, it's time to go to bed. Or I got, a minute to sit there and then I got other things to do.
Yeah.
Health, I give myself a 6 because there's changes that I want to make in my life. But until I make those personal changes and get that up, I think that my health is going to remain where it's at, unfortunately. Not saying that I can't change that. Need to be talking more positive. So, then we have education and evolution. I gave myself a 9.5 on that, and yeah, that
Really?
point.
Why, like,
I did points
why not a 10? Like,
because
Because she would feel bad saying it.
that's the only reason why. Too,
no,
and you
because I
know
feel
it.
like no one's perfect, so I can't give myself a 10.
But
'cause
you
that's
saying
not,
you in that neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
a
I'm
profession.
definitely there.
Okay. That's what's up.
Education wise, I mean, at this point, the only reason I would go back to school is because I'm trying to avoid these student loans. Like I got,
Facts.
yeah, I got a
That's the
master's
part.
already. Yeah, look, and they're on my back, and they want their money, and I understand that. So whatever. And I think evolution was really huge for me because I'm always the type of person, like, I internalize everything. I think through stuff. I always try to figure out, like, am I being the best version of myself? How could I change a situation, or how can I grow from what I did? Like, any interaction, I always go back over it. Like, what could I have done differently? How could I have been a better person? Relationships. Did I score myself there? Oh yes, relationships. I gave myself a 9, and then I changed it to like between an 8 and a 9, so maybe like an 8.5.
You don't say.
I do.
Dang.
I say that because like I have a solid group of friends, and I have a very close knit family. So at any point, like I can reach out whatever I need. Like those people hold me up. So I need something, they're there for me. They'll help me out. I'll help them out. It's a reciprocal relationship between my friends and my family. I think for me, I'm always available for them. But again, I always think that I can be better at something. So I could always be a better friend. Employment's a 9.8.
9.8.
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
You're like low key calling yourself perfect.
No, I had 6s. Personal and health are huge, and I gave myself 6s.
Not
in
compared
those.
to all them 9.8 and 9.5.
I mean,
Which is just her trying not to be too cocky.
no,
Carry on.
that is not the case. So employment, I gave myself a 9.8 because I got the job of my dreams. It's the job
Yeah.
I've wanted since I've been in high school,
Oh, that's
and I work it, and it's like the best thing since sliced bread. I gave myself a 0.8 because there's only one more place I want to go above that, and I've got 4 years to do it. So we'll see how that works out. Got to be in by a certain age. Spiritual.
Sound like the FBI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Excuse me.
Sound like the FBI.
That's what's up.
Spiritual. That's exactly what I wrote in my senior yearbook too.
Uh-huh.
Spiritual, I gave myself a 9. I go to church 90% of the Sundays. Sometimes I take a few days off.
What
You
do
said
when
it.
you do?
Praising the Lord, saints. Thank you.
Just saying, what was the last sermon about?
Y'all are crazy.
What was your last sermon about, sir? Don't you? You know what? You know what? I'm trying to be a better person. Trying to
She's
be
still working on it.
working on
that's
myself.
funny.
It just take one thing, you get it right off the square.
Easy, easy, and I'll jump quick. You'll be like, oh my God, I jumped.
Oh, we know.
Quick. And then I'm also like I'm very in tune, I feel like, with like the true spiritual world, because I'm of the belief that like we are all connected beings. We are connected like as people. We are connected with like the earth itself. And once you tap into that and you find that in yourself, then I think that you find like a different type of peace. So I respect that world. I'm interested in that world, and I'm into that world. So I give myself a 9.
Okay, so where were you? I think it was like
Where
one
was she
thing
lacking?
that you were
Nowhere.
lacking. What was it?
Personal and health, which are
Alright.
two major points
Alright, so
in my life.
Which one are you gonna start with first?
I should start with health first.
Okay.
But I think that I can't fix health until I fix personal, because I have to be able to take time for myself. I have to be able to,
Yeah.
So what's the plan? All right, we'll come back
We'll
to
get to
you.
that later.
Wonderful.
All right. E-Money.
Oh boy. Well, mine is not on such a positive note. I told you guys last week I'd probably be like really hard on myself. So I'll start up and work my way down. I give myself an 8 for employment, just for the simple fact that I went to school for advertising. I work in like advertising and marketing. It actually took me different jobs to find out what I actually wanted to do, and I actually love what I do now. And I could see myself like doing this for the rest of my life. But I do, within my job, always want to grow, and I always want to have the opportunity to move up. So I got a promotion last year. I'm looking to hopefully get another one next year, as long as I work towards it. So that's why I'm at an 8 there. I put 7 for education and evolution. A 7 just because I honestly feel like I'm really smart. If I mean,
Two.
it is what it is. I feel like I'm really smart, but I think if I had I used to want to be a dentist. I think I could be one if I actually went back to school. Do I want to go back to school? Never. But as far as evolution, I think I consider myself to be someone who's constantly educating themselves on not just when it comes to school, but what's happening around me. Yeah, and I have definitely evolved. Like, 21 Aaron is not whatever age I am right now. So I'm definitely evolving, but I can always do better. Relationships, I was at a 6 because I was looking at it from the standpoint of what I can do to improve them, but instead after listening to you two, I think I went up to a 7 just because same concept. I have like a great like small family, but great. My friends are amazing. Like, I don't know many people who have the close-knit friendships that I have, so I'm really blessed to have that. Just things I can improve, probably having more patience with other people, things like that is why I didn't give myself a higher score. But spiritual, I gave myself a 6, so this is like a passing grade for me, right? I can always do better spiritually, but where I was last year is not where I am now. You know, like, I've literally made an effort to like pray every day. I read the Bible every day. I just want to do it more and more every day and actually consider, God-like things before I act. So, but that can be improved always. Health, I put a 5. The only reason why I do what I want to do as far as eating, I used to exercise. I don't anymore. The only reason why it's not lower is because I actually care about my health from the standpoint of I'm not going to, like, have my foot hanging off broke and say, like, maybe it'll heal tomorrow. If it don't, then I'm going to go to the doctor. Like, I'm not crazy. I go to the doctor. Like, I take care of myself that way, but I can do a whole lot better. My lowest. All right. Here's where it gets deep, right?
Okay.
Personal, I put 4. I think my mindset is not where it should be as far as how I think about things. So I just gave bullet points, right? So I'll just read it to you guys, right? So I said I'm constantly putting myself last, and I will inconvenience myself because I'm that much of a control freak where I actually feel better if I just go ahead and do something instead of, like, letting someone else do it, right? Which in the end could be hindering that person from doing something. Like, I have that problem with my job. I'm like training new people. I have that urge to want to do the work for them. Mm-hmm. Like, it has to stop. You know what I mean? Like, I have to stop somewhere. I also have this issue, like, I don't want to call myself a pessimist, but more so like a realist, but with a negative spin to it. I'm literally always, like, trying to prepare myself for the worst, which when you're constantly preparing for the worst in every situation, it's keeping you in a negative mindset because I'm always trying to make myself aware of what could go wrong.
Instead of enjoying what's
right. And I could possibly be missing out on good things. I have a habit of purposely thinking of like bad scenarios. How would I get out of that situation? Or how can I prepare for them? And I'm talking about like emotionally. I'm not talking about if my car breaks down on the side of the road. I'm talking about like literally if I were to like lose a parent, or, you know, like 5 years from now, I don't know if I'll be married with kids. I'm gotten to the point where I'm kind of like mentally preparing myself to not have those things, which is sad. I don't know if my parents, like, I don't know if the people I'm around will be around in the next 5 years. I mentally like try to prepare for these things so I can keep from being disappointed. I like purposely don't get my hopes up for things. I think I'm sucking the joy out of life for myself by thinking that way. And the last part, right, to wrap this all up, is my like ultimate happiness, or my ability to just experience real joy on a daily basis. Like, I think to be like really stable emotionally and mentally, spiritually, like if you get up in the morning, no matter what happened to you the day before, you should still have some type of joy and from the fact that you're alive and blessed. And I'm very blessed, and I have to get to that point where I wake up every day with like this just uncontrollable joy for life because I am living another day. Now, getting to that feels like I used examples like, imagine like having a homework assignment, right? And no one can help you with. I can't ask my mom, the teacher can't help you with nothing, my friends can't help. It's like literally my problem. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in this maze, I'm trying to get to the end of it, right? Where like, what's the answer? And I don't have the answers, and that's a problem for me because I am a I need answers, you know what I mean? So definitely my personal needs to be fixed first. I need to, like, I make time for myself, like watching TV and stuff like that. But like making real time for myself, like finding that like emotional growth to get to that point of joy, like that's a struggle for me, like every day. So
I think that's why it's so hard to, like, when Jeff asked us, okay, what do you do now, or what's the plan, like, personal?
Keep moving. I don't know.
That's really hard to say because that's the problem. So.
But I just called. See, that's where this was actually very therapeutic for me because I was able to like now I have it written down, my pain point areas. I know what my problems are. I need to like chop away at it, right?
Actually do it.
Yeah, next time somebody needs help with something, like instead of me like taking over or jumping in to save you, I mean, if it's inconvenient to me, like, you know, I need to put myself first for a change, you know?
Absolutely.
Or when I get in the next situation where it's like just second nature to me to be like, oh, they're about to disappoint me, you know what I mean? Like, maybe don't think that way. Still gonna be hard for me to do, you know what I mean?
But this makes you aware of it now.
Yeah, that's why I was saying this is therapeutic. I'm gonna keep this list and I'm gonna like look back at it maybe in the next 3 months or so, see if I got any better or worse. But yeah, personal definitely needs to change for me. It's not going in the right direction. I'm a happy person, don't get me wrong. It's just up here, I'm constantly thinking, and it's ruining what's happening
out here
in my life. Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
So, you hold these?
Yeah, I was trying to do it like low key, but guess we on.
We on, baby.
That was a good one. That was a certified 10.
Y'all I need better friends.
You said it.
All right, so social. Honestly, social, I could probably, I gave myself, it's in my phone, but I can guess go off memory. It's fine. No, it's fine. I don't need it. No, social, I could be a lot more social, so I actually gave myself like a 6. Literally, I put myself into a box where I just work all the time. So when it's time to do something, it's like, I'm tired. And legitimately, I am tired. But, you know, it's sometimes where you can actually, you have to invest in things I've learned. Like, you have to invest in relationships. You have to invest into yourself. You have to invest into your job. You have to invest. And what I've learned is, like, as kids, we were always together with our friends. So it was nothing to foster those relationships. It was nothing because you got up, you got out of school, y'all clicked up, and that's what it was. As adults, one thing I've realized is that if you don't make an effort in addition to the other person making an effort, it's nothing. Like it's gone. You have to make an effort.
Even with effort sometimes.
Like you gotta like if it's worth it to you, you have to put some work into it. So that's why I gave myself like a 6.7, 6.5. I'm gonna do a TIFF. Personal.
Didn't know that was an
Should've
option.
made that a
I make
Person,
my own rules. Just
personal.
happen.
My personal fluctuates actually. I gave myself a 7 because I get lazy and I picked up a whole lot of pounds. Like I'm fat right now. Can't y'all see it? I'm fat. So picked up a whole lot of pounds and I can do better. I need to be more disciplined. Not only just with my eating, my job, things of that nature. Tiff, don't be lazy. Hold the phone.
Trying to prop it up.
I was trying to find your angle.
No, you was over there being lazy. I seen you.
Doing you a favor. Thank you.
But yeah. So I can do a lot better. Just for myself, like even with this show, you know, like even during the downtime that we had, I was real lackadaisical. I was supposed to be reaching out to a lot of different guests and things of that nature, keeping you all up to date on what we were gonna do. And I got tired and I got real lax. So I have to. One of the things I'm going to start doing is when I set tasks for myself, and I need to start staying on task. So that's what I'm going to do. So I gave myself a 7. So health was actually kind of tied into that. I do okay. Like I'm back on my meal regiments and all that, you know, so like meal prepping and things of that nature. I need to get back on the workout schedule. Because like I told y'all before, I'm fat. So I'm going to get there. I'm going to be summertime fine for y'all.
Oh, a real fatty is.
All right, watch a couple episodes of my 600-pound life.
Hey, listen.
I feel like I'm right there though.
So,
Stop.
so fat and obese is 2 different things.
That's true.
That's a fact.
Okay.
Shut us all up.
That's a whole other conversation.
Right.
Technically, you could be like.
Actually,
All right,
by
all right.
BMI standards, we all obese.
I swear.
Yes.
So
In America, obese is us. Like the entire.
So we fat then.
black
All right,
culture, like,
moving
go
along.
Go there, yes.
So education and health. I at a point I wanted to go back to school, and like probably not, because unless somebody paying for it, I probably won't go back. But what I am going to do with my education and evolution is that invest more time in the things that I want to do. Like one of the things, like for this show, you know, the reason why we haven't had as many videos up is because I have to outsource for editing and outsource for this. So I'm going to invest into myself and learn those things, so I don't have to outsource. So.
congratulating you. That's
Right.
Praise
Yeah, she
God.
said, praise God.
a good thing.
So start investing
Bet.
investing into myself for the things that will benefit me. So I gave myself that. I gave myself a 7. Relationships, I guess that kind of ties into personal for me. I could do a lot better with my relationships, especially with my family. My family has never been like the close knit, hug you, mwah, love you, all that. Like we cool. I'm a ride for my family.
Hey, you're right. We don't hug either.
Like I'm a ride. Like
You
something
all
go
are dead
down.
inside.
I mean, y'all are right. I guess.
No, we are. If
Like-
I tried to hug my dad, he was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Nah, we'll hug or whatever, but like I ride for my family, but like if I don't talk to you, I'm gonna talk to you. Typically, like, yeah, what's good? Why you so close to me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things I want to do with that is because like my siblings, you know, I haven't had children yet, but they tend to keep popping them out. Like I have 22 nieces and nephews.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, 22. So
That's a
yeah,
lot.
20.
Sorry, I can't even take this conversation. That's a small class.
That's a
It's not
regular
small.
size
That's a
classroom.
kindergarten.
It's not a small
That's a
classroom.
kindergarten class.
Dude.
Yeah, 20,
Yikes.
22 nieces
And
and
need a
nephews.
TA.
If you were like at a right, if you were at a private school, that would be over.
Overhead count.
Dude.
Yeah, 22 nieces and nephews. And what I don't, and like they're like in the age ranges from like 2 to 22. So, and
Everybody can't get gifts.
You right.
no, they don't.
They
but
get an envelope with $5 in it for each. Or $5 below, do something. I don't
but
know.
what I do want to do is that like in the last couple of years I lost a lot of like the matriarchs of our family. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want because they're gone for us to get further away. Like we were already kind of you know displaced or whatever. I need. Because I don't want it to be a situation where, like I said, 22 nieces and nephews. I don't need somebody to come home like, ooh, this is my boyfriend, girlfriend. That's your cousin.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? You know, like, and that can happen. Like we
Absolutely.
really have to, invest into making sure people know they kinfolk. So, I gave myself like a 6-7 on that one. Employment. I'm doing okay with employment. Got a little new job, top of the year.
Still a Jamaican.
Yeah,
I see you.
yeah. Got an additional job rather. And I'm doing okay with employment. It's a learning curve because it's actually within my degree, but it's something I haven't done for the last 8 to 10 years. But it's cool. I give myself a 7 because I have a lot of room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I still want to. My goal is to do my own thing, And so this job and this opportunity is going to give me the financial backing to start putting those efforts together. So that's the goal there. Spiritual. I gave myself like a 6-7. Because even though I go to church, I'm not gonna say I always am involved in what's going on. Like I'm there because it's almost like routine,
Yeah.
But I can't always say I actually I accept what's going on. I take something away from what's going on, and I actually try to implement it into my family, into my life. So I do need to get a little more spiritually grounded. I do need to get because. When I was a child, I was always at church. My grandmother, she wouldn't have had it no other way.
Because your ride was taking you.
Not even just the ride. You wasn't staying in the house. Like, that wasn't an option. We didn't have choices back in the day. Sunday, you got up, you went to Sunday school. You went to church.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever event, or meeting, or bake sale, you went to that.
Mm-hmm.
You went to evening service.
Mm-hmm.
Then you came home and we talked about it. It
What
wasn't.
would you learn today?
Yeah, we wasn't doing all
What you learned today? So
I need to move out of here.
and so it became a lifestyle. And actually, I wouldn't change it because I got bit by the travel bug with church. Like we went to these different conferences all around the state. I mean the country, and actually it went out of the country once or twice. Then we went to Mexico or whatever. I don't know if y'all went to that, y'all.
No, we did not.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to Mexico.
Missed out on that.
Yeah, so
Before our time.
So we did a lot of traveling, and I met a lot of people, and I established a lot of friendships from it. So like I know Ren and Stimpy.
What?
From
You tried it.
Who's who?
We've got Red.
Both of y'all don't get slapped. Hey, that was a good one too. Y'all got some tears tonight. I'm proud.
Let's go.
What's up?
But yeah,
Tried
so
it, though.
so that's what I'm gonna get somebody age up, but that's like 15 years.
Longer
No,
than that.
I've known you for almost 20.
There you
Oh,
go.
20 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
20
okay.
years. So there you go.
Ooh.
Right. So, so I need to get back to that because one thing that I witness when I do go to church is that they don't even know what that is. Like these kids nowadays, they're so invested into this technology, into these phones. They don't know what like going outside to play tag is. They don't know, about human interaction. They do everything from the phone. So, and I think, your spiritual background has a lot to do with fostering that. So,
Right on. So
I guess
what's your lowest?
I think it was my relationships. I think I said that was spiritual. One of the two. I don't know.
Why don't you know?
I don't know.
What do you feel like your answer should be for that question?
It's going to be my relationships. That's the first thing I'm going to work on. And how I'm going to do that, like one thing I'm planning on doing, I talked to my dad about it. We're going to try to do like a family picnic later this year. I'm going to do like a little portrait. You know,
y'all real fancy.
well, not a portrait, maybe a photo, but
Everybody stand over here.
Get your own bug and take a picture.
I'm gonna go put
Get out the
I'm gonna put the Sam song over there and get the you know what I'm saying, cheese. And,
Somebody can't be in it.
so, but we have.
Got a timer on all these phones he got. He can work.
Hey, didn't nobody actually put me out there like that?
I'm just saying you have all these
A lot of
tools
devices.
Getting
to
money.
get the job done.
However, but yeah, that's what we want to do because that's what she said.
I did it again.
First of all,
I'm so proud.
that was an alley-oop.
It was. All right, I'll take that. But yeah, so that's one thing, and I also just reached out to all my cousins on my mom's side, and we're gonna try to get together and do something. So,
That's
I'm
dope.
already working.
That's dope.
All right, so what was your we had to come on with the
Oh,
plan. You thought it
real
was
quick.
over.
Okay, I said personal, so I guess Tiff kind of gave me like an idea on that, but just sleep is one thing I don't feel like I do enough of, or take time to just relax. Like, I have little spurts where I get better with that, but I think that would be a start in that area because I'll feel better. I won't feel like I look tired. So it's like,
And you don't want nobody at work.
yeah.
You look
So
real tired today.
just making sure I carve out time to sleep. That is the worst.
Thing to tell
And first of all,
somebody.
yeah, let me make a PSA.
You look
Males,
tired.
men, boys, whatever you consider yourself, never tell a girl she look tired. Why?
I mean, if you look tired,
No,
you look tired.
okay, but that's rude.
That's very rude.
So
How is that rude?
yeah,
I'm telling you, you
Come
need to
on,
go.
you already know we not about to go
I had
down
a
that road. You know
client
it's
tell
rude.
me that the other day. He was like, "Oh, you look tired."
And what
Sir,
you wanna
I'm
say?
2
Your mama?
seconds. I'm 2 seconds.
a F
giving
word
you
with
the
4
energy
letters
you asked
followed by a
for.
3-letter word is what I want to say after that. So anyway, but yeah, just kind of making sure I carve out some time for myself, and that would include sleep, just time to relax, you know, time to read more. It's usually like work, visiting a family member, and come home, go to sleep. Might get 1 episode or something in, but that can be overwhelming. So carving out more time for myself
Yeah.
is a start.
That's tough.
Were you next?
Yeah, I believe
All right,
so.
we're gonna go to you then.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'll sit.
I
I'll sit
mean,
tight.
Speaking to the mic.
That's what he said.
Oh.
All right, so
Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Jesus.
no, I just said
We're
like
on school radio.
Oh.
I didn't say it. I just implied it. So we good to go. No, so I said I was gonna work on my personal, my mindset about things, like maybe not going to situations. Yeah, I did, but I basically have my problems, which of course I would single out my problems, right? But I did make a list of, you know, basically where I can start. You know, not assuming the worst will happen, or not always trying to prepare for the worst, but just enjoying what's happening in the moment. Not overanalyzing. I do that all the time. I need to cut it out. So that's what I'm gonna do to fix it, or try to.
I'm personal, so I think I'm in line with everybody else here.
Except you have like a 9.8.
Right.
It's a 6. Thank you. What I want to do to work on that is like truly take time for myself and be at peace. So if that, like, meditate. So I'm really into I have this meditation app that I absolutely love, and I do it typically when I'm at work, but I want to do it at home. No, during my lunchtime. I do it at lunch. Look, sometimes things get stressful.
She closed her door
Yes.
during the middle of the day.
Really, I play it with my eye mask on,
Oh
and then
my
I like
God.
turn my, just the whole situation. It's my little Zen thing, whatever.
Building burning down outside.
I have my AirPods in. I won't hear
Num,
nothing.
num, num, ring, yeah,
They be
yo.
shooting up see, there go that negative mindset.
That's,
I was about to say, they be
that's
shooting
the
up everywhere.
spirit
You
world
gotta-
protecting me.
You gotta look alive. Right, get that. Sitting back there, eyes covered, ears covered.
I just want to take more time for myself, find like that inner peace, because I think once you find that inner peace, then, you know, things kind of flourish from there. So if I'm able to kind of control and be able to, like, you know, be calm, take my time for myself, and learn how to say no, and be okay with saying no.
I know.
Because I'll say no.
And feel
It's
bad
like,
about it. Like,
all
you might as
right.
well went on and did
All right,
it.
man. So, I mean, I might not be able to do like 100% of what you asked, but I can get you like 90. Is
I
that
know,
cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just being okay with saying no.
Mm.
Jeffrey?
I think I
Oh
started.
yeah, he
Oh,
kinda
you did.
Oh, you did yours?
I did. Why you jumping
No.
down my throat?
I mean, she wanted to include you.
I just wanted you to be on board.
What were we thinking?
However, so since in the spirit of it being, I was gonna say All Hallows Eve, but
Same.
We are on
my
the road.
Valentine's Day. I wanted to ask you, what was your
Same.
best, worst Valentine's Day?
Ooh.
So,
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
no, I don't have my own.
You grinning real hard.
Say.
She done turned red in
No.
the
Hey, you're
motherfucker.
making me uncomfortable.
So it's very funny, actually. I was talking to one of my friends before coming, like, I don't have like a really good bad Valentine's Day story. And she said she had one for me.
Okay.
So I'll do this by proxy. Hold on. I'm sorry. So they were doing heavy loving. You know, the kind where like you make him eggs after. So she hooked him up with like this real bomb brunch, and he worked afternoons, so he had to be at work at like 2 or 3. So she gifted him.
Crying. I already know this is true.
No, she gifted him with brunch. If you laugh, I'm gonna laugh.
Sorry, I won't look at you.
She gifted him with brunch, and like cologne and some polo clothes, and then you know they were like making out and doing whatever. So he goes to the car, you know, to start the car, and she thinks that he's like grabbing her Valentine's Day gift.
Never to be seen again.
He came back in the house empty-handed. I'm like, oh,
crying,
he's
man.
waiting till the last minute. Nope, he left and never came back.
Shut up.
Wow.
See what I mean? Disappointment. I would have prepared for that. Mentally. I'm going to fight you on the way
Like
out.
you gonna leave and never come
Oh
back.
my God.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's pretty bad. How long were they dating?
That's trash.
Years. Crazy thing is, she married this guy.
I was about to say they married now, aren't they? I knew it.
Well, not now.
Well,
She married
he did
him.
it again.
Basically. Oh.
That's terrible.
Oh, so yeah, that was my funny story because I don't have a good bad Valentine's Day.
That is trash.
Okay, what about you,
Do
Trash?
you have anything?
Okay. I don't have anything I can actually recall. I've had like good Valentine's days, but like nothing like really stuck out like that. But I do have notes for things like I do remember like a couple years ago I was talking to this guy, right? This was bad because like we were talking for like months, dating rather. And when I use the term dating, I'm not saying like, oh, we talk like once a week. I saw him like a couple times a month. Like, no, we talked every day. Basically, like, was dating.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, saw each other
Exclusively.
basically every day, right? So, like, Valentine's Day, like, I get a text. And then it's like 8 o'clock at night. By this time, I'm like, I can't believe, like, you know, we hang out any other day. Like, you, like, purposely, like, didn't want to hang out today. And I hated that I had to say something about it when he actually, like, called, like, that night.
Mhm.
And I was like, so you weren't going to give me, like, a flower or anything? Like, and his response, this is what I don't like. His response was, I don't really, like, celebrate Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's the hustle.
Get why
It
this
is.
is, get why
That's
this is
the
an issue for
hustle.
me, right?
If I could curse right now.
I don't technically celebrate your birthday, but I care because I care about you. I'll give you an example. He was in a fraternity, right? I don't care about your Founders Day, but I'm going to still tell you, you know,
Mhm.
Happy Founders Day. Has nothing to do with me, right? It's about making the person that you care about, like you've been talking to me for months, it's about making the person you care about actually feel important. You don't have to get me, I like effort. I pay attention to effort. You know what I mean? You could have went to Kroger, got me some $6 tulips. I like a good Hallmark card.
The ones that's on Manager Special.
I like a good Hallmark
You're
card,
good
so
off.
it could have been $3 or $4. You spent about $10 on me.
like
That would have
$9
made me feel good, as opposed to your response being, I don't really like rock with Valentine's Day. That's trash,
And
right?
also probably a lie.
But you rock with me
And that's
every
honest.
other day.
That's honest.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna say best in general. I've had a lot of Valentine's days where, well, with the same guy, but he was really good at like buying cards, and I don't mean, I'm gonna keep using the word trash. I could tell he actually took time to pick out a card because it applied to us. You get what I'm saying? Like, just, that's what I mean, like the effort. You know what I mean? Behind things. It doesn't have to be something really expensive just to show that you care. And yes, you should show that every day, but you know girls care about Valentine's Day. Like, you know, like, no, I'm not pressed to have some big fancy date, but yes, I care.
About
And if
the
I'm
acknowledgement.
kicking it with you, then act like you care on that one day that people show love to each other. Like, what's the big
Or
deal?
how about tell me ahead of time? I'm not really into Valentine's
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still call you
yeah.
trash.
But,
I am.
But it's
But at
more
least-
believable
Right.
if
I
he
guess.
says it in advance. Like, you know it's coming. Y'all been talking like, listen, that's not really my thing. So.
Yeah.
I understand this might be your thing,
Right.
it's not
Yeah.
mine, but I'm willing to meet you halfway somewhere.
Or even if you're not, but at least now I know and can plan accordingly.
And see, my
Instead
thing
of finding
is,
out
if
8
I know,
o'clock Valentine's night.
if I know we're on that level, I give the guy something for Valentine's Day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I share. You know, I do those things. Like, I mean, I guess if you were dating, you should know that. But I mean, I just don't get it. It's just the small gestures, like, actually, like, they matter.
Absolutely.
So I think that's like trash for anybody listening. If you ever had that experience with a man or a woman, they're lying. Just because it's something, I guess my thing is, just because it's something you don't do, if you like that person, you can switch that. I'm not trying to change you. You can still change a little bit of something to show
You
you
can
care.
adjust.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Boring, Jeff.
Yeah. Of course we're boring, Jeff.
I'm just tired.
I know, I'm sure you want to argue back. I was waiting on you.
I really don't.
Okay.
Jeez. Us.
Speak up if you got something to say.
I
So I
don't.
can
You
shut it
don't have
down.
any thoughts
She
on
just
any
told
of
you to
that?
put some bass in your voice.
You don't have any,
See,
as the
see,
resident
you
male.
trying to get something
She
started.
got enough for the two of us.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
I don't be sleeping.
I'm tapping out.
You always back out when stuff gets serious. Okay,
I know me.
That was a certified 10. Again, you on a roll. Don't let it happen next week. That's all I'm saying.
So you don't have any thoughts on that?
Oh, when she was there?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
Lies.
So you agree or you disagree? You have some sort of feeling?
Yeah, yeah.
You got something.
Go ahead.
He wasn't listening.
That too.
Soraya, what's your
This
word?
is your show. You not listen. I'm
I
sitting right
actually
next to
can't
you.
recall.
No, wait. I got something to say. Hold on. Take these phones. All
You're
right.
about to upset me.
Am I
Spit
good?
all over the mic.
Am I good?
That's
All right.
what he said.
What time
so
is it?
childish.
It's
It's a wild
almost.
night.
Yes. Yeah, he was lying.
Oh, see,
Yeah, he was lying.
I didn't know you were going to agree with me.
No, he was
You
lying.
rarely do.
He was lying.
Thank you.
It was probably something that happened though, because I'm gonna be very direct. It becomes a situation in relationships or dating where it becomes like a competition, and once you get burned by somebody, like I go and ball out for you or whatever, and you turn around and you, you're right. It, you know what I'm saying? There you go. Get in your car and leave. You might feel a certain type of way. So
But that's not fair.
no, it's not. So, but it's in the same token. It's in the same token of when someone has been hurt before and they bring that into the next relationship.
They need to go to counseling. You need to go talk that out with somebody.
So everybody, so you ain't never brought something from an old relationship to a new relationship.
We're not talking about Tiffany.
My point exactly.
This ain't
So
Tiffany's
my
conversation.
point exactly. So all I'm saying is that yeah, he was lying. At some point, he was into Valentine's Day. Whether it was he was in high school or college, whatever he was, something happened where he's not now. So.
He
wha-
sent a sweetogram to somebody and she
Yeah,
wasn't feeling it.
yeah. Something happened.
We're
So,
not
so,
talking.
but what I'm saying is that what's the issue is that we, like Tiff said, we just don't have communication is very poor. Whether you a situationship, somebody else told me there's a new thing called right, yeah. Whether it's a situationship, a relationship, a taxationship. I didn't know that was a something.
All right. Have a seat.
So
Somebody-
I was so quick to say that's some bull,
But you be in taxationship.
but I've definitely
yeah, you definitely,
Definitely
you definitely
found myself
In
in
the
a
taxation ship.
text
yeah.
DM situation, so
Oh.
confused.
Yeah.
Like,
2019
what are we
is-
doing?
Yeah.
Waste my time.
Yeah, so-
2019.
So, regardless of what it is that the communication is not as direct as it should be, and people don't say how they feel and what's going on, and that's where the problem comes. So, yeah, he was lying, but he could have told you why. Like he could have hit you up and said, hey, happy Valentine's Day. You might, celebrate this, but I don't because of X, Y, and Z. You probably would have respected it more.
What are the odds of a guy being
Trash.
that vulnerable?
See, I respect. The
Is
guy
that
who's
vulnerable
straight
though?
up.
That's not even being vulnerable.
It's
I don't got to
being
tell you
honest.
why.
It's being honest.
I don't have to tell you why.
Exposing that you.
I don't have to tell you why.
I thought you were saying like.
No, I just said, hey, you happy Valentine's Day. I just want to go and not say nothing because it'd have been weird the next time we got together.
Once again, which is why I go back to you just flat out didn't like me enough, in my eyes, because that should outweigh whatever baggage you got, why you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, all of that other stuff. If you know it's gonna make Erin happier than she was yesterday, and you actually like me enough, right? Then today you celebrate Valentine's Day.
I don't technically agree with that.
No,
agree.
I don't feed into the whole idea that you don't celebrate a holiday. Cause like what's Christmas really? You know, like what's any of these other holidays?
Yeah.
But you
That's
there.
just what it is.
Yeah.
You just got to be straight up with somebody. Where I think that the issue always boils down to, you just probably met. He was not saying I don't know y'all, like, or I don't know
it don't
the
matter,
situation.
no, yeah.
Got real country, y'all.
He was having fun.
Yeah.
He stayed too long. Valentine's Day rolled around.
And he got caught up.
Right.
Yeah.
And instead of being straight up, like, and saying, hey.
Wake up and like, oh, Valentine's Day tomorrow. I was supposed to cut this last
I was
week.
supposed to cut this in January. What happened?
Ain't like Tim Martin Luther King Day back. That was supposed to be the last day.
That's what I'm saying. He just stuck around too long, and he didn't have the heart to say it. I respect the guy that's like, look, you know this is what it is, right? Like, we not doing holidays. Like, that's not us.
See, my thing is he had did thoughtful things before that. It was just that when the day labels you to show affection and that you care about somebody, I think that was something in his mind like, oh, then it's gonna show that I'm too serious if I actually make an effort on Valentine's Day. No, you're trash.
Or there were other obligations elsewhere. I'm always inclined.
Like a
think that.
wife.
Hello.
I'm always inclined.
Hello.
To think that. I guess
That's
the
the realist in
thought.
me. That was the
But
yeah.
Just terrible.
but if you weren't with me,
Dude, be really out here married.
then who were you with? So
You know what?
Just terrible.
That's
I mean,
honest.
Big facts.
All right, what's yours? Your
I can't recall. It was either no. I mean,
So many?
no. Literally like worst.
Yikes.
she probably had
Worst
good
story.
ones and they
Yeah,
just
that's
blend
what I'm saying.
together.
Like,
Yeah, that's
and
how I
worst
feel.
story. Like it was either nothing at all or you know I did
Mhm.
something. So nothing like really bad I could think of happened on Valentine's Day. Good Valentine's Day would include like trips, stuff like that.
Excuse me. Okay. I said $6
No.
tulips from Kroger.
What I'm saying is
and
like,
a Hallmark card.
I manager said.
I appreciate
No,
those things
her response
also.
was, "I like trips."
No. That's not what I said. I said like a good or like the best Valentine's Day might have been like when I went on a trip or something like that. But no, I'm listen,
My personal should go down to a 3.
Listen,
Like I legit
I'm
treat
like
myself
you.
like
I'm
trash.
like you with the cards. Like cards are, to me, when I read your card, I'm assuming that this is what you are saying.
I
Like,
don't think she said she expect trips. I
She
think-
didn't, but that
thank
had to be
you,
the first
thank
one.
you, Jeff.
I like
No.
trips. Me too, but it was
Normally,
not.
I'm paying
Diamond bracelet. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, whole house, couple whips.
Those are nice.
Like,
No, but like the thought is what's important. So like I'm very big on cards, like what the card says. You know,
Right.
if I feel like it's in tune with
Yeah.
how I think you feel or how I would like you to feel, things like that. So those are like some good moments for me. Worst Valentine's Day would probably be like a time where I was just like flat out alone or something like that. So nothing major, but
yeah.
like I didn't have absolutely anything going on, and that was a trash Valentine's Day. So.
Yeah.
Jeff?
So what's yours?
I ain't never had no bad Valentine's Day.
You don't celebrate it?
Nope.
I'd say it's easy
Trash.
for a guy.
Nah.
You just didn't get anybody anything.
Yeah, I ain't
You
really
had to
had.
have that conversation.
Yeah, I haven't really had
Yeah,
no.
what do I feel like you probably have had several of those? Like, you know you're not getting nothing right.
Ooh.
I've had.
So you probably did.
She's disgusted. She
Yeah.
said, ugh.
Ugh. Go ahead.
She was like,
Okay.
no. It was like it was a conversation before, like, what do you want for Valentine's Day, or what do you want for? It was a birthday or something before. It was a Christmas had came before, right? What do you want for Christmas?
Christmas always
As
comes
it typically
before.
does.
Sounds about right.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I'll let you live. Go ahead.
That's why I'm having. So I'm casting new. Anybody out there that wants to come on, casting new people for the show. No, it was like so. Christmas came before she asked me what I want. I said nothing, and she was like, "What do you mean nothing? Don't get me nothing. I'm not gonna get you nothing."
Oh.
And that was the precedent.
She had to pick up that bottom lip.
No, face to face. She was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I said nothing. She was like, "Why you don't want nothing?" I was like, "I don't want nothing because I'm not buying you nothing."
Was there follow up after that?
She
or-
was like, "Well, why not?" I said,
I don't like you like that.
No, I didn't say that. I was like, first of all, I don't got.
That's what it was.
That's what it
That's
means.
right.
Oh.
That just died.
That agrees too.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that.
It knew you was about to lie, so it just shut off.
Let me cut this.
It wasn't
Can't
that.
be here for this.
Wow. Oh, card's full. We use up this card. All right, it wasn't that. I didn't like her like that. I didn't have no money to be spending like that, so I didn't want to put.
That's a
myself-
different
Come on,
conversation.
man. All right,
Then-
Jeff,
That's a
you
different.
lying.
That's a different.
How am I
conversation.
You
lying?
lying. You lying.
That's a
You lying.
hey. It's hard for me out here. I really can't do it right
That's-
now.
No, trash. Trash.
How
Trash.
how is he how
Dude.
how's that trash? Like I didn't want to be doing that. Like and I didn't want nothing. I didn't want to give nothing.
You didn't have to do anything else. See, this is what
I
I'm
understand.
trying to say is something is better than nothing. If you really like
Yeah.
that person, I don't care how
But see,
broke you are.
here's my thing though. Like what I okay, so let's take it even further. First of all, I think I can honestly say I've never celebrated Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day. Because I don't think
Get to sell candy later.
I
I see you.
No.
Trash.
Right.
I don't celebrate Valentine's Day
We
on
need a
Valentine's
drop for that.
on Valentine's Day. We need to get a drop for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't celebrate most holidays, those like Hallmark holidays on the holiday because this is my thing.
You are the man I just described. That I have a problem with.
Why?
Why do you like that?
So let me ask you a question.
Share the mic.
Let me ask you a question. So if we date and I say Aaron, I couldn't get off for whatever Thursday, whatever. So this year we're gonna do something Wednesday. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about not doing anything
But
at
you
all.
just gave us a couple of other excuses.
That was there wasn't an excuse. That's something I did. Excuses can't be something.
Oop.
Yeah, something I did. It's not an excuse. So what I'm
So
saying
you
is,
said what you said.
yes, there you go. I'm
Okay.
like that.
Yeah,
Drop.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Spit it out.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that don't get so caught up. Like people do get caught up in the day. Like, oh my God, you didn't do nothing for me, but nothing.
Well, I think you need
Like-
to explain that it's
Yeah.
still for Valentine's Day.
Right.
But still though, like.
So, yeah,
Don't get. I think people do a lot of that. That's crazy. Like to get so caught. Because if we just so say the weekend before Valentine's Day, I decided I had the weekend off, which I normally don't get off, and I wasn't even thinking that Valentine's Day was coming up because I
You
saw
should
this.
be, but go ahead.
I saw this on my work schedule. I had this weekend off. We haven't done anything. I'm planning for this weekend. I'm not thinking that, okay, Valentine's Day is 2 weeks away or whatever after that. I plan something extravagant. We do it. So, and then Valentine's Day come around and you like,
No, that's selfish.
that's what I'm saying. So it's
But
not
you're
the
That's
day.
not they-
I
that's
think
not
what
they
we're
say.
saying
But it's
is
not-
acknowledging
but it's
it.
not for Valentine's Day. I did it because we haven't done
Oh,
nothing for a
come
while.
on.
Why does it matter? Why does that day matter? Like if I did something.
Because it does. End of story.
Because all
Period.
your friends at work getting something and you sitting there.
Oh,
like,
that's what it is. Oh, okay.
Nothing for me.
All right.
For real.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Even kids
Okay.
are getting something. They go to school, they get
Alright.
something.
And then everybody know you messing with this dude, and then all of a
Like,
sudden
ain't that the guy that picked you up from work? You didn't get nothing.
he ain't send you nothing. You know tomorrow's
Oh.
conversation. What you get, girl? What you do, girl? Now she got a lie for you, so she don't look silly. Nah.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. However, that is our time. It's coming up on our time. We had a lot of other things to discuss.
We did.
But what is the moral of the story, Aaron?
Take care of yourself.
Nope, don't want to hear that. What's the moral of the story, Soraya?
These dudes is trash.
Oh,
I
didn't
thought you was gonna say these something else.
didn't want to hear that.
That would've
What-
set the
what-
night off. Just
What's
drop
what's the
mic.
moral? What's the moral of the story, too?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead. right.
These dudes is trash. And that's what you was gonna say too.
That these dudes is trash.
All right. So the moral of the
No,
story.
I know. I was not. I was
Oh,
going to
okay.
say, take care of yourself, and show those around you that you actually care about. Show them that you care about them.
Find
That
somebody
ties
you
in with both-
love.
That ties in
Love
with
that
both conversations
person.
we had.
You right.
Right. So
We make things way harder than what they need to be.
You're
If,
right.
if you with a guy
put a little
who
effort into both, and things will be a whole lot different.
simple.
All right. Well, before we go, anybody want to shout out any? Because we got to do our entrepreneurs corner. Anybody got anybody to shout out? Any small businesses, black business, anything?
I do, and I actually brought an item. So
Okay, for the camera.
I want to shout out. Her name is Cashmere 8. And so what she does is
You might have to spell that.
yeah. So it's KASHMIR and then Roman numeral 5, so VIII on Instagram. Not 5, 8. Sorry. See, I'm tripping. Anyway, but she
Did you get that?
does.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
Thank you.
We'll put it
I'll
on the
tag
site.
it. Yeah. But she paints like different artworks from the culture, African American culture. So what I have here is a purse that has the ladies from the show Girlfriends on it. I also have a purse from her with Prince on it, the artist. So I really like what she does because she will create these images or copy these images, but she's painting it herself from our culture. So things from the movie Friday, Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, Biggie, Tupac, and she makes purses, shoes, mugs, coasters, notebooks, like all of this stuff. And it's reasonably priced, but enough where, get your coin, sis. So really check her out. Anytime she has a sale, I'm always buying something. I really like what she does. So shout out to her. Thank you.
Anybody else? No.
I've got a few people to shout out, but we can do those later.
Go ahead.
I have
No.
two cousins who both have internet businesses. One is ChantelCollins.com, where she has mugs, bags, totes, journals, things of that nature. It's really, really dope, really cool stuff. She's out of D.C., and I have a cousin that's out of New York. Effie's Paper, so she's heavy into like stationery. Effie is actually my great aunt. It's a stationery company. She has like mugs as well, keychains, just really kind of cool black girl stuff. So check them both out. ChantelCollins.com, ShantelCollins.com.
Crooked letter.
So yeah,
I
check
see your
both of
pen
them out.
over there. Is that Maxine?
Yes, this is the it's Queen Maxine.
Nice.
You better shoot straight.
I know. That's nice.
One of my pens that I talked about last week.
No.
You got anything?
Actually, a small business up and coming. Okay, it's a popcorn business, right? It's called Pop Till You Drop. Yeah. It's the cutest thing ever. She makes like bags of popcorn, whatever. I think she has like maybe over 30 flavors, I think, of popcorn. She makes it all from scratch. She's done like a ton of parties. She'll go to like festivals and have a table and people can, buy different flavors and stuff like that. It's really cool though. And it tastes really good. So yeah, definitely want to support her. So
All right, I'll leave on a note. Anybody got problems with your canine friend? The ones that you love so dear. I want you to go follow my cousin at Motor City K9. It's spelled how it says. I didn't spit, Aaron.
I'm not worried about you spitting. I just want to
She wasn't either.
When you speak.
Whoa.
However, yeah, Motor City K9. It's at Motor City K9 on Instagram. Hit him up. He'll get your dog together. Whatever problems that you're having. I mean, he does attack. He does bite work. He does normal obedience, and he does board and train. So if you don't want the dog, if you don't have the time to keep going out and going to classes or whatever, you can give him the dog for a couple weeks. Put a couple dollars down. He'll get your dog taken care of. So Motor City K9. Other than that.
Oh, he's on live.
Look at it, yeah. So, other than that, this has been our show. I am Jay Liggs. I got my people in the building. I got Tiff. Whoop. Soraya.
He was about to do it again, y'all. See?
And E. And this has been the Culture Cure. Peace.